you want the connection where you can be authentic, because then that's the safest, really, because you can be yourself. They're not going to kick you out for being yourself. They understand you.
Hi, I'm Dan.
And I'm Can.
And this is the Dan and Can Show.
Starring Dan and Can.
It is starring us?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going more spectacle now. My eyesight has gotten way worse.
Dan, is that because of staring at the screen when you're editing and stuff?
I don't know. It might be. Could be a number of things. Could just be I'm old.
No, I refuse to.
I'm an old gray beard. I'm a silver fox.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
So tonight...
You're going to wear your spectacles the whole time then?
I'll be off and on. I got notes I need to read and just all sorts of things to do. I'm trying to, spin many plates. I'm starting to take after you. Get as many plates in the air as possible.
Dude, you think I haven't noticed? I'm like, dude, we can't both be like this. Come on now. What are you trying to do?
You've changed me.
Great. Okay, I guess you've changed me, but I don't like what I'm seeing in you. The part of me that I'm seeing in you, I don't know if I like it yet. I have to adjust.
So I have to put my worth in you?
No, I rely on your steadiness. So I'm having to adjust. I just said I'm going to adjust myself. I have to adjust to it. So you're putting all
your worth in my opinion of you?
No. I mean, that has been a problem in the past. But
well, that's good, because that's a problem we're going to talk about tonight.
You're just trying to word that in a way so you can do that segue. I was like, this is it.
Segue.
Okay.
But tonight we're going to talk about self-worth. Again, we're dealing with shit that comes up in our lives from week to week, day to day, month to month. And we had an issue dealing with kind of a self-worth thing, just opinions and whatnot going on with us. And we're going to kind of look into that, how we come from a system that...
I'm trying to think what you're talking about.
Well, it's loosely based on a conversation we had last week about a trigger in episode that you had.
Okay, really? We're not going to bring up that trigger.
No.
No.
No, God, no. We don't need to bring that up again.
Stop.
No.
Okay.
No, it wasn't bad. But there was a tone of self-worth in it. And from that point, I'm talking looking on the outside to define the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's kind of what we were trained in, even in my Catholicism and my loose religious background, dealing with, well, I need these people to tell me if I'm worthy or not. Their reactions to what I do is going to tell me if I'm a worthwhile person.
Mm-hmm.
What they say about me is going to define my worth.
Mm-hmm.
So we constantly are looking on the outside to define that instead of looking to ourselves and trying. And it's something we've talked about before, but I think we might try to do a little more nuance. We'll see where you lead us tonight, because like usual,
that's not Christ-like.
I'm going to throw the ball out in the
You should not let your wife lead
court and see what game we're going to play tonight. So are you ready for that? Just to kind of define.
Sure. You know I like that.
Worth again, and where we come from, and what's that all about.
Have we talked about this on the podcast?
Yeah.
Lots of times.
Everything we talk about, we've talked about before, but
we're talking about it from a different way, or
yeah,
it's good. You do need to do that.
But this is something that we need to, I think, is a good topic to bring up time to time, because it's something we keep following, because we are on a path, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, and just on that journey, we keep
revisit some things, maybe at a deeper level, or maybe the same level if you didn't learn at all from the last.
You regress back to a stage of something I have to work out. And it's like something we've always talked about with you and your hypnotherapy about the subconscious. You work on something and reprogram something. You're not done.
No, it has a domino effect. Now that thing affected something else.
Yeah, and there's going to be something else that you need to work on. And your mind's bringing up things of, okay, you're not ready for these things yet. We're going to keep burying that deep.
It's your subconscious, yes.
Yeah.
Subconscious.
But these things we can work on now, so I'm going to bring this up.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a programming thing you have to work on. And to I think a lot of times when we were in the religious mindset, it was just like, let's pray that away. Let's focus on this and let's get rid of it.
Or if like I had bouts, remember that time you got robbed at gunpoint?
Yeah.
And I was tortured with thoughts of like you dying. I mean, like it was like literally torturing me. You'd be out at work at night and I would be like, come home and check. I feel like someone's, like, you remember that?
Yeah.
I was just so scared of someone coming at gunpoint. I was scared it was around that time we watched the movie Mothman Prophecies.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't look out the window without thinking I was seeing red eyes. It scared me at night to look out the window. Like I was literally felt like I was being tortured.
And every time I see the two little red lights, like my earbuds charging, I giggle and be like, I should leave this in a spot where Candy can see it in the dark.
You're terrible. I wonder how I would react now. You might trigger something, and I feel like you wouldn't, but maybe you would. But I used to be like down in the basement doing laundry, and I would be freaking out because I'm just like scared, like something's down there with me or some spirit or whatever.
Probably me lurking around the corner staring at you.
Probably was. That sounds really creepy, but
I was Christian and a male. Creepy kind of goes with that, hand in hand.
Cringy, creepy Christian. But
cringy, creepy Christians.
Okay, then you're going to get the not all Christians, which is true. We agree, not all Christians, but it's just, we can't just keep saying not all Christians before everything. It's just too long. So we just say Christians. And I'm sorry if you fall in that category. Just know that you're not one of them. But anyways, I used to say like, I have not been given the spirit of fear, but of love and power and a sound mind over and over and over and over and over until I would just drown out the thought. So I wasn't dealing with anything. I was just, I guess it was kind of an affirmation, but I hadn't really looked at what is going on. Why am I so afraid? What am I afraid of?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that really was, I really had to get to that fear. And that fear was, that I finally got to was the fear of you dying and me, because I was new to being a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was still working a little bit, but very, very part-time. And that was when I kind of like, well, if I don't want to be afraid of it was more, yes, I would have lost you, but it was like my financial safety would have been gone.
Yeah.
And I've got kids, I got to protect them. So I'm like, what the hell am I going to do?
You're in the ideal Christian role because you're 100% dependent on me.
Yes. And that was the bigger fear. And then I got to this point where I was like, do I want to mourn? Like, if I have to experience Dan dying before me, do I want to mourn him and be afraid of my financial situation? Or do I just want to be able, like, I'm financially stable. I'm doing just fine. But I'm mourning him. I want to just be able to mourn you and not have on top of that the pressure of financial issues. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's when I started to like be able to get some traction and start, and I started working part-time. I started working from home. I worked tons of things, and it's got me to where I am. And then let's see where it goes. Because I still couldn't survive completely financially free from you.
Yeah, but you're closer.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to get into self-worth.
I don't know. That'll play in there somehow.
Floppy dick. So it's all good. But yeah, so just kind of going down that path. But before we get into that today, we have to get to know each other a little bit. Right?
Yeah.
So we're going to play a little game. Fun game inspired.
Okay.
And it's called Would You Rather?
Oh, we know the Would You Rather game. I think everybody's acquainted with it.
So, here's the prompts I have for us. Would you rather have your self-worth permanently determined by your youth pastor from high school, or every decision you make must be approved by your mom's small group?
I would go with the second one, and here's why. I think I could easily sway my mom to get on my side, and then she could get all her friends on my side.
Yeah, until your mom talked to someone else.
It doesn't matter. If right in that moment they get on my side, they approve, I go do whatever it is I wanted to do.
Yeah, but then 2 minutes later...
I don't care. I don't listen. I don't answer my phone. I don't see him for a couple days.
Cast upon you like no other because she's been swayed the other way. You don't want to have your youth pastor We won't say his name.
No. If we go with my actual youth pastor.
What did you get in trouble for one time from him? You were doing some.
No, I got in trouble with when my dad said that I had committed the unforgivable sin, probably.
Because you're imitating.
Because I was like, okay, so my pastor was standing up on the stage and he was swaying, but he had his feet together, like, like your feet. He was standing, like, say these are his feet, and they were like spread apart. So his heels were touching and his toes were separated, pointed out. And I thought it looked funny. They were straight out, like parallel, like one foot went this way and one foot went this way. And it looked funny. And he was like this, and he was swaying. And I tapped my brother or sister next to me. And I was going like, I was standing like him and going like this. Dad looks down the row, sees me. And he's like, knock it off, or whatever. Quietly whispering, and I got that look. And I was just like so scared. And then after church, he tells me, you might have committed the unforgivable sin. Do you think that didn't mess with my head for the rest of my life? Oh, God. The rest of that Christian life was tortured with that thought.
That's good. So stop mocking your pastors. All right, you ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather?
Wait, you didn't say what you would rather.
What would I rather? I didn't have a youth pastor.
Okay, but
my mom wasn't in the small group. She had smoking buddies.
All right, let's say, okay, so who do you think of when you think of a youth, like, kind of teacher, someone who was over you? Like a coach, maybe? Anybody?
My dad was my coach.
Okay, somebody that's not your parent.
See, that's the whole problem. I was so sheltered by my parents.
Was there a priest?
I wasn't allowed around the priest.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Was there
Father McFeely?
Oh, Father McFeely. Okay. There wasn't any other coach. We're talking like go to middle school, high school. Your dad wasn't coaching those.
No.
Okay, so find someone there in school. Was there some teacher that you you just really liked them? They were a great teacher. That you felt like they affected you. Everybody has those teachers. Come on.
Sure.
I got teachers I could say from elementary, middle school, high school. Come on.
Yeah, they're all great.
You don't have one that stands out or a few that stand out?
Maybe, yeah.
Who?
Maybe my first year history teacher.
Okay, there we go. You found somebody.
Okay.
Would you rather have to ask your first year history teacher? He would be the judge of you basically your whole life, right? Is that what the
your
question?
Self-worth?
Your self-worth
would be determined by him.
Okay, your self-worth would be determined by him. Or you'd go to your mom's buddies, her little cronies, and they had to make your every decision, or you had to run it by them. Which would you rather?
Probably the teacher. He was easier to get along with.
Okay, but would it even really bother you that much with your mom? You think you could get?
Yeah.
I noticed your decision didn't seem as terrible as mine.
No.
It seemed softer on both sides.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, go along.
I was a good kid.
That had nothing to do with being a good kid. You had a good opportunity. You had parents that weren't uber religious, and you also had
youth pastors.
Okay, all right. Yeah, because it creates a judgment zone. All right.
You're on a path to hell. Would you rather relive your worst purity culture retreat or experience?
Okay.
Or post a selfie with the caption, "God's not done with me yet," every day for a year?
I would go with the latter one because I think it's funny.
Well, yeah, now you think it's funny. It's satire in its finest. God's not done with me yet. There's you.
Is there? I mean, yeah.
Just doing something that
they would be like, no, you are not allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walking into an R-rated movie. Listening to Chicago.
Such innocent things. Dropping an F-bomb. You know that.
Yeah, purity culture wasn't a thing for me growing up.
No, I know. So, okay, here once again, Dan. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I do. God's not done with me yet because it'd just be ironic.
You did have a little bit of purity culture, weren't you? Weren't girls supposed to wait till they were married? In Catholicism, a true Catholic, like, aren't they kind of taught to wait? Otherwise, why was it like so shameful if someone got pregnant before they were married?
You know how many Catholics?
I know they weren't sticking to it, but aren't they taught it?
And yeah, it was kind of taught, but it wasn't beat into us. It wasn't our...
Still purity culture.
It wasn't your used piece of gum. It's like, oh, okay. We got to ship you off to Aunt Rita's over. Iowa somewhere.
I mean, but were the girls ever taught to wait?
We were kind of taught that.
Were the men taught that?
It was, in our sex ed classes.
We were kind of, well, they didn't want to just sleep around with everybody.
No.
Which makes sense.
But yeah, you're just giving some basic. It'd be more like a public school education.
Okay, move along.
All right. Would you rather have Joel Osteen narrate your inner thoughts or Mark Driscoll yell at you every time you show emotion?
Oh, God, that would be so bad.
I'd go with Osteen because he'd make him uncomfortable. Oh, geez, I can't say that. I can't narrate that. That's awful.
That's right, true. That's right, true.
And Driscoll, he'd get hoarse, just yelling all the time.
Driscoll, that would be, yeah. And every time you show emotion, which is all the time, all throughout the day, no way.
24/7.
Oh, gosh. No, he'd just be shouting in my ear. Happiness, sadness, nervousness, whatever. Okay.
So what's yours? Your Joel Osteen?
I guess I'll go with Joel Osteen, yeah.
All right, last one. Would you rather get a tattoo that says fearfully and wonderfully made?
Fearfully and wonderfully
made. Parentheses by
That's
other
a tattoo?
By other people's opinions.
Is that what it says?
Small print.
Oh, God. That's
or wear a WWJD bracelet that shocks you anytime you assert a boundary.
Oh, God. These are horrible. These are horrible. I guess the tattoo, because I could be like, that was true. Like, I've had to put some work in to kind of reprogram some of it, but hey, I was made by other people's opinions.
Yeah, it'd be easier.
Yeah.
Than getting shocked for a year.
Yeah.
Every time.
Every time you say no to somebody or, God. Yeah, no.
Yeah, especially you now, you rebel. You're like, build that wall.
I do not do that. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Oh, you're setting boundaries all over the place.
I do set boundaries, but I don't build walls.
All right. So let's kind of set the tone for where we're going to go, and then we'll play a little game, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about this self-worth and just dealing with...
What do you mean by self-worth?
Just accepting who you are, where you are, and what you are.
Do you have to accept that you'll always be where you are?
No,
No,
I don't think so. And you want to go deep right off the bat.
Or who you were,
but yeah, it's just kind of allowing you to exist in this space
as you are,
mm-hmm. and not have other people determine what you need to be doing. Being able to be aware enough of yourself to be able to look inside and be like, I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Or, hey, I want to do that. No matter the judgments cast upon you by everyone else.
Yes. So basically existing as you are while also holding to what direction you want to take your own life.
Yeah.
Basically, or where you're going. Right? So basically allowing yourself to exist as you are while simultaneously holding space for where you're going.
Yeah.
And where you've been.
Yeah. And you're the captain of your ship.
Yes.
You're not letting other people pilot. Jesus isn't your co-pilot.
Yeah.
In case of rapture,
Hey, Jesus is your co-pilot or Jesus is the pilot and you're the co-pilot?
Well, they always said co-pilot, which never made sense because you're still running everything.
Yeah.
And he's just there going, all right, yeah, okay, I'm going for a ride.
Which should give them the picture of like, yeah, we're all running our own show. Let's be honest,
So,
okay.
But yeah, you're doing it yourself. So kind of getting into that aspect of breaking that cycle of constantly, because I think a lot of people have that idea that they're going to define their worth in the world by what other people think.
Well,
That's why you have people striving for financial gain or fame.
Especially
that's my success.
fame. Yeah. And financial gain, I think all of us kind of want more. We're not looking necessarily for a financial gain. We associate it with financial gain, but we're looking for financial security.
Yeah.
Because we have this instability where we don't know where we're going to get, like our future. Is our future going to be covered or are we not going to be covered? Or, you know what I'm saying? We have all these questions of, are we going to be able to provide for ourselves? Mm-hmm. And also be able to live a life. Like that is something that people naturally, I think, fear. But what I think you're referring to is this need for excess and over and above so that you can lord it over somebody else. Mm-hmm. And also, like, while others suffer, you want to gain at the expense of others rather than just gain along with others or something.
And kind of we'll dive into what it does to us when we don't have this self-worth defined by ourselves. So then how we carry ourselves, how we present ourselves, how we do whatever we do. So whatever makeup you may put on, how I do my hair is going to be based on how I think the world's going to perceive me. Instead of going out and being like, hey, this is who I am. This is what I'm going to do. If I want to put on some makeup today, then fine. That's what I'm going to do. And it's not because I want to get people to accept me and think that, oh, they're well put together because of this, this, and this. It's because they're going to accept me for who I am and not what I look like. So I think we have a tendency a lot to belittle ourselves, take our own worth down because we feel like we're not meeting the goals and aspirations and the viewpoints that others want to have for us.
Okay, so I would say that what you're saying, I'm just trying to get it very clear for myself, that you're saying allowing ourselves to view the contrast and use contrast and comparison to discover what we like, discover who we want to be, right? Mm-hmm. Rather than letting it tell us who we are.
Yes.
Okay. Because that's what we're doing.
Yep.
A lot of the time.
And we'll get deep into that here in a minute, but you're itching.
I am?
You're itching to play a game.
Okay. I guess I am.
So here's the game today.
Okay.
All right. Mm-hmm. It's self-help or self-hell.
Okay.
Fill in the blank edition. I like to fill in the blanks. We're going to get you creative. We're going to see how blank you can blank.
Okay.
You're not going to fill them in?
You got to tell me.
I said we're going to see how blank you can blank.
Oh, how? I don't know.
All right. That's a good start. So I got quotes from Christian pastors.
Okay.
With a blank in it. And you are going to fill in the blank.
Okay.
And we're
going to stop saying blank so much?
And then the blank will be presented to you. And that blank will be filled in by you. And we're going to see what kind of mood Candy's in tonight. If she's going to be creative or actually try to get the right answers.
Wow. Is she going to be creative or intelligent? That is the question.
No.
Keep going.
That's not the question.
I either know the answer or I create.
I'm not going to let you define
how I
define the game.
Okay, whatever. Go.
All right. This is a quote from Pastor Stephen Furtick.
Okay. That's the guy with the long blonde hair, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or is Furtick no, he's the Elevation Church.
Is Furtick dark hair?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I know.
He's the guy.
I was saying that long blonde hair. Who's that guy?
That is.
I can look up Furtick.
I can't remember his name now. I know who you're talking about now.
He went around with.
Yeah, he was doing a concert series, but this is Stephen Furtick. He's that.
How you spell his name? F-E-R?
F-U-R-T-I-C-K.
Okay.
You know who he is. All right. The quote is, you don't have a self-esteem problem. You have a blank problem.
Sin problem.
That's what you're going with.
Mm-hmm. Stephen Furtick, I see him.
No, it's God esteem problem.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's all you got? No comments on that?
No. It sounds about right, though. It sounds like something I would have heard in evangelical Christianity. It's not surprising.
Think about it there in itself. It's taken away the ability for you to...
You don't think highly enough of God.
Yeah, and you're thinking too highly of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Again, these pastors hate self-esteem.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see it, a common thread through a lot of these quotes. All right. The next one is from John Piper, Desiring God blog.
Oh, I read that. I used to read those articles.
And your quote is, you were not created for your own blank. You were created to make much of God.
You were not created for your own enjoyment, joy.
Self-exaltation.
Self-exaltation.
Close.
Yeah, that's what they think of. Okay. Even though you could look at him and you go, you're a famous preacher. Aren't you self-exalting?
Yeah. I think their favorite verse when they're dealing with this is pride comes before the fall.
Yeah, they say that. And that's not, and then they'll say like pride parade, right? They'll kind of connect those two, but that's not what that word is. It got translated pride in some translations, but it's arrogance. It's like a puffed up, you have nothing to back up what you think you're really good at something and you're actually not.
It reminds me of high school when I was wrestling in 0-16. One of the teams had a sweatshirt for the team that said, "It's not arrogance, it's confidence."
And you were wearing that?
No, the other school.
The other team.
I was like, I ain't got any of that.
Don't give me that shirt because that's a big fat lie.
I'm just going to be end up on my back here being pinned. So, but no, it's taken away from any recognition of yourself. Mm-hmm. And again, we've talked about that before. You can't take any praise or just joy from anything you've accomplished.
You'd hear,
you have to give that all to God.
You'd hear, you didn't do it. Like if someone said, I was so proud of myself for it. Oh, but you need to give the glory to God.
Yeah.
You need to thank God, not yourself. Like you're okay. I've heard parents, I hope I've never done this, but I don't know. Like when the kids were little, like if a kid say they were like so proud of themselves and they're like, now you're getting a little bit, pride comes before the fall. You need to thank Jesus,
Yeah.
God, I hope I didn't do that, but I don't know if I did or didn't.
Did.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
It is, but we probably did it. So, all right, one of your personal favorites, Joyce Meyer, Battlefield of the Mind.
Okay.
The quote is, you don't need self-confidence. You need blank.
God confidence? I don't know.
Perfect.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, God. They just put God in front of everything.
Yeah.
So original, guys. Wow. And you wonder why nobody feels like their mind is actually blown in church. I remember like the first time when I started to like study, like began deconstructing, my mind was getting blown over and over and over. Like I was like, this is crazy. This stuff I'm like finding out, like everything was just like, in Christianity, that's what I would turn around and say to people who I would like talking to about my experience that were in Christianity. When's the last time your mind was blown in church? When is the last time that's happened? Because it never happened for me.
Probably during COVID, because COVID-19.
I'll blow
you. All right, Pastor Mark Driscoll.
Okay, our favorites.
Real Marriage. You don't need therapy. You need to blank.
Pray.
No.
Repent.
Yes, repent. So you have issues going on that you could use some mental health.
Yeah, which you need to repent literally means to change your mind. So yes, you need to go to therapy so you can get your mind kind of changed.
That's not the definition of repent in Christianity.
No, it's not, but it is. It is. They'll tell you that, but they don't use it that way. I think they mean change your mind, basically agree with us about that this is this is the truth. You shall not have sex outside of marriage. See what I'm saying? Like that, even though you can read stories throughout the Bible where there's sex outside of marriage all over the place. And I would always be like, how do you know that that's it? Because, and they'll take some verses in the New Testament. That one was an interesting one because I was just like, this is so weird because David is sleeping with other women and all over the place. I don't know. I know it's a floppy dick, but it's just weird because they teach it as though it's.
Well, David didn't have a floppy dick when he was doing that. He was pretty firm. Just saying. Oh, there it is.
Eventually he did, Dan, I'm sure. I don't know. But move along. This is disturbing.
No, he was bricked up all day long, 24/7.
Oh, God. Maybe. Who knows?
So, but yeah, the repent, I mean, from the Christian, I remember feeling that repent was you fell short, you sinned,
Mm-hmm.
So now all of a sudden, if you're having a mental health issue,
Mm-hmm.
you're sinning.
Yes. What they want you to do is agree that you're sinning, and you need to tell God you're sorry and stop doing it. Whatever it is that's making you feel like you're
the reason you're
wrong.
depressed, the reason you're anxious, the reason
you're sinning somewhere and you need to find the sin.
There's something wrong in your life and you need to figure out what that is and then repent of that sin and take it to God and then you'll be cured.
That's the thing. Like Christianity, I've noticed being out of it, it's very sin focused. Yeah. Sin is really at the core of Christianity.
And it never deals with the issue.
No. Because you're just looking for the problems.
Yeah, you're just distracting yourself on this now instead of that. And it might temporarily pull you out of it.
The solution is Jesus, which it's so vague. Your problem is sin, which is all these things you're doing all over the place. And the solution is Jesus. And so you never really look at what the real problem is. And the problem isn't really like all the things you're doing.
Yeah. All right. One last one. Mr. Pastor Rick Warren from The Purpose-Driven Life.
Okay. Remember that book?
We're familiar with. Self-worth is not based on what you do, but what blank.
But what you say?
No.
But what you believe?
No.
But what you...
No.
It's okay. I don't know.
Something you did.
But what he says?
No.
What he did?
Who?
Jesus.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So self-worth is determined by what Jesus did.
Yeah. That's what gives you your worth. He was willing to die for you. Yes, I remember that. That is where self-worth was taught. He died for you, so you were worth the blood of God, I guess, in a way, right? Which, I mean, that part of Christianity isn't terrible because I do think you're worth it. I think everybody's worth that divine laying its life down, right?
Yeah.
I think that we're worth that. That says something very high about us. And it would make us act a certain way if we really believed that. But instead, they use it in a way, it's kind of like the difference in God is watching or like, you're not alone, God's watching.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's two very different ways you can say that same thing.
Yeah.
So you can say, Jesus, you're worthy of God's sacrifice. And that can make you feel really encouraged. Or like, God sacrificed. So, like, you need to like spend your whole life trying to pay him back.
Yeah.
Or showing your gratitude, right?
Yeah.
That's how they use it.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. It's nothing you could do. It's all, everything you do is worthless.
But then you should keep trying to do all the good things.
I mean,
right?
That quote fits into their teaching. Everything you do is like a bunch of
filthy
dirty
rags. Yeah. But then they tell you that you have to do all the things. It's like
But your worth is tied up.
No matter what you do.
The work on the cross.
Yeah.
Now you're worthy.
But if you, but then all of a sudden, if you do bad, if you do what they think is bad, then you're, I mean, like, then it is based on your works. You see what I'm saying? It's not, but then it is.
Yep. So, all right, let's get into our topic. So.
Oh, the glasses came off, guys. Oh, crap.
Yeah, no, everything's blurry.
Can you see us? Dan, you need to get your eyes checked, and that bothers me. We need to get...
Well, I got the cataract in the one eye. That's what's causing a lot of the issue because that's cloudy. And then...
We need to get that surgery then, huh?
Eventually. They said I could wait a few years, but I don't know the way this is progressing. Maybe sooner than later. But that's not what we're talking about. That's not my worth, my eyes.
No, but it makes me sad. I've never, like, you having surgery on your eye.
You won't be able to see me anymore.
I'll have to drive you around. You won't be my chauffeur. I'll be your chauffeur.
Well, it's probably good that I can't see then.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like, because he does not like me driving. Because I'm an assertive driver.
Yeah.
Not aggressive, assertive.
Yeah, your philosophy on driving is the best defense is a good offense.
That's not true. I'm a defensive driver. What are you talking about? Get out of here.
Defensive driver, okay.
Carry on.
I agreed with you. I said, okay.
Go.
Anyways, so I think an issue that a lot of us deal with, and we fall back into it every now and then, is that we look outside of ourselves for approval. So we look at our image, our value, the person that we are, based on how other people react to how we present that in the world. correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, very good. Glad you're joining me on this journey.
What am I supposed to butt in all the time?
Yeah.
No.
That's what carries this show.
No.
So when we're doing that, we're letting other people define who we are and how we're going to behave in this world, which is putting us right back into what Christianity, the religious systems, political systems, all the systems want you to do. They want to fit you into the machine to be the proper cog that keeps them running.
Keeps the machine going, yeah. And
it's a dangerous thing, but I think humanity is prone to that because we have this need, this want to be part of the group because there's safety in numbers. So all these people do this, so I need to conform and make sure I do this too.
Because, if you think back into our ancestors, there was safety in numbers. If you got broke off from the group, if the group didn't like you anymore, you're good as dead, pretty much. Yeah. You're on your own with the wild animals, with everything.
It's even, the church uses that as a punishment for people that act out against it. You're going to be shunned
out of the community.
And you're out of the community.
Like anybody who's deconstructed, we know what that feels like.
We still use that, and it's still part of it. If someone's away from our family, and we've cut them off, you're on your own.
And even notice, like, where deconstruction kind of does that. They shun you, right?
Yeah.
So you're cut off, but then you start to look for people who you can connect with because you're gravitating towards, you want connection. We are wired for connection. We need it.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what we need. But the problem is are we connecting and finding that connection with people that let us be us?
Love us, unconditional love, or is it conditional?
Are we trying to fit into what they want us to be?
Yeah, that's what you have to figure out with each relationship.
And I think that's where a lot of this comes down to is that, we do things in our life. We present ourselves as we wear certain outfits. We, look certain ways. We talk certain ways. We act certain ways because we want to fit into this group.
You can really notice this when you watch your children who are raised in families. They'll mimic their parents that they want, the parent they want to fit with, or the one that keeps them the safest, or the one that they don't want to make upset.
Until a certain age, then they start mimicking their friends.
Exactly. That's true. Then they try to separate a little bit, which is a natural biological thing. And they are trying to feel out their, who they want to be like out here. So but it is natural. You're looking for connection, and you want the connection where you can be authentic, because then that's the safest, really, because you can be yourself. They're not going to kick you out for being yourself. They understand you. Yeah. Right? They may not be like you exactly. Yeah. They're their own selves, but you hold space for one another. Yeah. Whereas the other community, a conforming community, is completely different. So I don't know what you would, there's a community of conformity, and there's a community of unity. I guess that's the difference. The unity is where you're accepted just as you are. You're part of the group, regardless. You really can't get out of the group. Yeah. No matter what you do or what you say, you're part of the group. You may have consequences for your actions, right? Like, think of it this way. You're part of humanity. Regardless of whether we want to be or not, we are part of the human race, right? Yeah. But we don't have to be, we would choose to be parts of other communities a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's other things we can make choices. I can be part of human race I can't get out of. But I can choose whether to be part of this church group or this school group or this work group or whatever. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of the nature of things on how it is. We want to be part of something else. We want, because there's rarely, there are exceptions. There are people that are hermits, loners, lone wolves. But for the most part, people want to be part of something. And I think it's how you define yourself. And I think that's the key to everything on here, is because now, if you think of it, you are a cog. Okay. And
you've called me a cog lots of times here. Let's keep going. Yeah. I don't know. Keep going. It's not a very nice word.
But I'm not referring to you specifically.
I know.
But all people. But we're all cogs, right? And we have a certain amount of teeth on us, and we fit in a certain spot. Now, if we're trying to conform, we're going to grind down some areas of this cog so we can fit into that machine. That makes, we're not right for that. We're not going to work correctly.
Yeah, but we're going to try to be a makeshift fit. We're not really where we're supposed to be. But
once we recognize that.
Which that affects the other cogs around you.
Yeah, they're going to operate differently too and everything else.
To adjust to you.
Yeah, but if we just don't change that part about us and find out where we fit in the world and just click in place, now the machine's working perfectly. Yeah. And if everyone could do that.
And the only way you could do that is by being authentic, right?
Yeah, without changing what you are and how you fit. And you're going to find that everything's going to operate a lot better in your life. Yeah. Because you're actually operating where you should be.
Yeah. And we're not saying like you never change, like you're always going to be in that spot. No, you'll know when you start to like, it doesn't work as smoothly, like something's getting, there's a lot of, something needs to be looked at. Somebody either needs to pull away from the situation or somebody new needs to come in or something. The dynamics have to change somewhere. But that's when you notice when things start to feel all wonky and it gets, then you pay attention. But otherwise you do if you're authentic, you're not pretending, you're being the fullest expression of or reflection of the creator source, right? Yeah. That you can be in this container. And then you're really fitting where you're supposed to. If you just start doing that, the pieces will come to you that fit with you. But I like that idea of the cogs. Now I don't mind the word so much, but the cogs in the wheel fitting when you're in the right place, and then it flows, right?
Yeah, it works properly. It works most efficiently. Yeah. And you're doing what you need to do. Because that's your place in the world. And you're going to find that the other gears and cogs and springs and levers and everything else around you are going to fit in place too better because everything's fitting into where they want to be. Instead of trying to cram this into here and cram that into there and forcing it to work, it doesn't work right. It's not properly functioning. So, I mean, that's the idea of being authentic. And what's that look like? It's a difficult path. And I think we were kind of forced into it through deconstruction because once you presented it to your family, which was kind of our group that we found our safety in, there was definitely a, whoa, you're not accepted anymore.
It was like throwing a grenade into a calm situation.
That's your motto in life.
No, it is not, sir. But it did play out that way. And I used to throw more grenades. I'm a little more wiser about that now. Okay. I'm not saying I never throw a grenade into something. Yeah. Not a grenade. It would be a little pebble. It would be a little smoke bomb.
Smoke bomb my ass. You're out there.
Then I just walk away. Yeah. No. But I even avoid certain situations if I think I'm going to be feisty.
Yeah, but we found ourselves in this situation where, okay, what do we do now? We're out of the community. And it kind of forced us it put us on a road of self-discovery, really.
And we're still on it. Yeah. We're still on it for sure.
Yeah. But it forced us out of it because now we weren't conforming to the church mindset and the family dynamic.
And that didn't happen overnight. It's just a thought after a thought after one thought leads to another thought, leads to another thought. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they start to unravel like that. So it's sometimes it was quicker, like, oh, do I believe this anymore? Why would I believe this if I don't believe this? They kind of connected to each other and you just kind of let go. And then all of a sudden you're almost a completely different person to those who knew you that way.
Yeah. And it kind of goes with the old saying, adversity is the mother of invention. We were in an adverse situation because we were groupless. We had no community. We had no tribe.
Yeah, we lost.
So we had to figure out what was going on. And then we started finding, okay, all right. And it was learning how to be authentic, dropping down certain walls, even with each other of, okay, here's how I feel about this. No, I really don't like that. No, I do like that. I want to try this. I want to do this. Okay, fine. See if you like it.
Now I'm trying to talk him into going back to college with me.
She has a weird idea of us being co-therapists.
I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah. How many of you would like to come to this smiling, friendly face? Tell me your problems. So yeah, we were kind of forced into it, which was kind of a hidden blessing of deconstruction because it helped us become who we wanted to be. And who we are, and helped us fit into roles that we wanted to be in. And I think just kind of looking at some of the things that we've struggled with recently, it's been dealing a lot with that authentic self. I know, not to trigger you, but one of the things you were talking about was the personalities in our little triggering conversation. You were talking about the difference in our personalities, and that you are an orchid. And I'm a dandelion.
Sensitivities, yeah.
So you're extremely sensitive, and you're like, that's horrible. I can't be that. And I'm like, no, that's what we need. Because me being the dandelion that's oblivious to a lot of the sensitive natures, and I gave the example of, I say shit just because it comes into my head and I think it's going to be funny. So I look at my son and be like, you look like shit. From the YouTube series, and you're like, damn.
He just got he hadn't gotten his haircut yet, but his hair was kind of like pushed forward, and it kind of grows forward, and he
buzzed his head with his brother at the beginning of the summer, and it was kind of growing out.
And his hair naturally grows straight forward. So it doesn't flop to the sides. And his bangs looked straight across. And he was already kind of in this space. And, I had conversations where he's in this space. And then Dan comes along as like cracking this joke. And I'm like, oh, God.
So you're like, hey, he's a 15-year-old boy. He's kind of sensitive to these things. You need to be aware and not crack. I'm like, oh, okay. But that's where the sensitivity of the orchid needs to be in this world to help kind of direct some of the other flows of everything.
Yeah,
it's a necessity in this world.
And I think the orchid, like we were talking earlier too, the orchid can't really bloom into that space where they can be sensitive to those things unless a dandelion is nearby to make it safe enough. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be in that
it follows
proximity.
True life because orchids are difficult to grow. You have to have perfect environment for them to grow in. And you've been able to do it, yes.
I have. For 5 years or so.
Green thumb. But
for now.
But when they grow, they're beautiful. And they help bring the aesthetic of the room and everything else around. So that's what you're doing is you're sensitive to the environment around you. And you thought that as a negative, but it's a very much a positive because it helps others understand, and it kind of helps regulate the energies around. Where someone might be like me that's joking around and how this and this other person's sensitive, you can be like, hold on, dude. Let's bring you down from this jokey stage and understand this. So it's definitely necessary. So you were feeling down because you were feeling like I'm way too sensitive.
Well, yeah, but that's because of what I grew up being told.
You had a lot of trigger and stuff from that in your past. Your father told you, you wear your sensitive
feelings on your sleeve, or you're too sensitive. Yeah, that did get said a lot.
Not understanding that that's what was needed. If he would have embraced that, it would have softened a lot of the edges of him.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah.
But he never did because he wanted to be the manly man, like Mark Driscoll talks about. Rough.
Even though that idea of that manly man idea in old age, because that's what he tried to be, and now he's old, and he's weak, and he's small, and he's timid, and he's kind of almost helpless. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like all those traits go away. Is my dad no longer a man now? Or is he just a man that is aging?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's still a man, and yet he requires a lot more gentle touch. He doesn't, he can't lift things and protect people. He needs all those things done for him.
Because he forced himself into a role. He's not
maybe he feels like he's losing his manhood. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be because he's not getting that gentle touch because he's never.
Well, he's not getting it from most people. Yeah, you're right. He's not getting that. He's getting some because we're being, we care about him and but he's not getting it because of
empathy and compassion.
Well, he's getting it because of empathy, compassion, but he's not getting it because, man, you just loved us so. Like we love you so much. We love to be around you. He's getting it more out of like a sense of duty, I guess, in a way. I mean, honestly, that's really what it. For me, it kind of is just a sense of duty.
But that's because you're too sensitive. We don't want that around here.
Yeah, so I learned to not give it to him. Yeah, that it wasn't safe. That's true.
But the whole point is you had to understand that's your role. That's just what you're here for. We all have characteristics that we're like, really?
I hate this about myself or whatever. Yeah.
When I get comfortable around people, I speak my mind. Mm-hmm. And it's not necessarily politically correct or appropriate. Mm-hmm. And it comes off like, whoa, all right, dude. Yeah, you're.
If they don't, you've had to learn the timing of it, right?
Yeah.
You've had to learn, all right, is the timing right? Is the atmosphere? Yeah, and then I guess that's good where an orchid can come in and be like, okay, the timing's really good for you to do this, or no, don't do that right now.
So I mean, we all have our things that we look at and like, okay, let's work on that. Mm-hmm. That's not a great trait, but it's not that it's not a great trait. It is a trait of you. It's part of who you are. It's part of what develops you and makes you the cog you are. Mm-hmm. So you
learn how to hone it.
Yeah. So figure out where you fit into the machine to help out. It's not bad.
No.
It's part
all of them are good.
Yeah. It's part of your DNA and just accept it.
It's like, I guess you would think of all the flowers, the different types of flowers. They all have they draw different animals or repel different insects.
Here's a great example. Communication. I'm not a good communicator.
Well, you think you're not. I don't think that's true, but okay.
It is, especially.
You're not a good speaker sometimes because you mumble. Is that what you mean?
No, I'm talking like in an environment with a bunch of new people that I don't know.
Yeah.
Conversations are short.
Do you get anxious with those?
No, it's just that I don't know what to say. So I spend most of my time thinking of something to say. And I never come up with anything. So there's minutes.
And you never come up with anything?
I could be standing next to someone right next to me. Hey, how you doing? Good. Yeah, good day out today. Yeah. Uh-huh. So
is it kind of like your conversation with your parents, which you do know, and you have those long pauses that are just like.
So, yeah. But I'm not great at it. One of the things you always self-criticize yourself about is I talk too much.
I do, though. So we both need to hone our skills a little bit better.
But it's not that you talk too much.
I do talk too much.
This is part of, no, you don't. Because what makes this move, what makes this show operate and move is your ability to carry a conversation and to put words out into it. Because if it was just me, like a few minutes earlier when I said something, I'm like, okay, you're not going to participate. I'm like, oh shit, this is going to be a long episode. Because
I think that's because you think that. And if you realize you can communicate it, because you communicate to me really well.
Yes, but I know you very well. And we have different things to talk about. And I'm not searching for some common ground to communicate with.
Gosh, it must take so much energy for you to have conversations.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
This is like me with cooking. It takes so much more energy because I'm like, what goes? I don't know. I don't really want to do this. And then
we need people
that's true.
Use a lot of words.
Okay, fair enough.
Because without it, there'd be a lot of uncomfortable silences in the world.
But we do need silence too.
We need some silence and and all that, but it's you need your words to process through stuff. where I go inwards and think and reflect and operate. You need to get it out of you.
I need to get it out so it can bounce back to me and I can look at it from a different,
when you're
either
talking
through writing
when you're
or
trying to
speaking.
counsel someone, you're like, all right, if there's no one you can talk to, just write it, type it. Don't stop. Keep going. That's what you're doing with your words.
Yeah.
You have to keep talking about it just to hear it come out.
Because eventually I'll hear it. Yeah.
And then you go, but I need that too, because then that's triggering things inside of me. I'm like, okay, there's a point. So tonight we were talking about something and you were just going and going. All right. Not a judgment.
As usual.
But I was taking it in.
Yeah, you were. You were listening. I could tell.
And then I had a couple points. And then you finished and you're like, what do you think? And then I came back with, well, could this be this and this and this? And you're like, huh, yeah. But the only reason we got to that point was because you kept speaking and talking and describing.
And because you were listening.
Yeah.
The two have to go together.
Yeah.
Okay. One's got to be a listener and one's got to be a speaker. And you take turns, but sometimes the speaker speaks more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't be so self-critical on yourself on being like, I talk too much. No, you don't. You talk just the right amount because that's who you are. It's part of what you are. That's how you operate in this world. That's part of your cog is that you have to.
I think a lot of women get told that though.
Well, yeah, because men don't want to have to listen to it. A lot of men don't want to have to come home and actually work on anything.
Yeah, but I think...
Okay, a lot of men are taught, I come home and June Cleaver's there in the high heels and the
So she looks nice, but she doesn't... I don't want to hear anything that's going on inside her.
The kids are all cleaned, ready to go. Dinner's ready. I don't have anything to worry about here.
But why doesn't a man want to be stimulated in his brain? Or do they? And they just don't know that they want that. Because I feel like you have a much richer relationship with me because you're willing to go there.
I think, because when it first happens, it's overwhelming.
Because they haven't been raised with women talking and, okay. And it's like, or not just women, but people.
Holy shit. What the hell just happened? That is, and they're trying to process and all this, and you can see smoke coming out their ears from everything turning, right? And it's daunting, and that scares them because that's a lot of work to go through until they hone the skill of being able to be a good listener and communicator and participate in that. So at first, it seems like a lot of work and a very daunting task because you're not used to it. You know, it's like you walk into the office for the first day of your job and then a mountain of paper sitting there. It's like, get through all that and then do this on the computer and budget this. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
There's so much here.
Yeah.
And it's overwhelming. And I think that's what happens a lot of times.
Is beginning of anything, a lot of times. Yeah.
They're just overwhelmed and they see it as a lot of work. So let's not worry about that. I don't have the energy to deal with that, but they can learn to have the energy to deal with it.
Well, that could be a future podcast too, where we talk about how do they learn how to do that.
You go back with your counseling sessions.
Okay, sorry, but I think these are important things that we've kind of worked through without, like, let's put some words to it. Let's help other people see what we did to get to where we are, because a lot of people do look at our relationship and we're like, they just think it's like magical, like it happened, but it didn't. This is effort that we have both put into this relationship.
Yeah, and it's just learning. It's 28 years of learning.
Yeah. 30, actually, Dan. We started dating over 30 years ago. Unless you were dating somebody else while you were dating me.
No.
Why do you have to think about it?
I just had to make sure. I wasn't.
This is not good for you anymore.
Yeah, once again, another podcast, another night on the couch. But, yeah, and I think we can get in some of that stuff here and probably will here in the future, but a lot of it is based off of this. First, knowing who you are, how you operate, what makes you tick, and just accepting that, and then finding out where that fits in.
Mm-hmm.
So you being married to another talker wouldn't be great.
No.
There'd be a lot of noise in the house and not a lot of stuff going on.
We would probably be fighting most of the time.
And me married to another non-talker.
Be very quiet. Very peaceful.
People would be like,
peaceful. It would feel peaceful. Maybe it would sound peaceful, but I don't know if it'd feel real peaceful.
But nothing would ever come of it.
Be empty, kind of, yeah.
It would be like my parents.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So,
okay.
Yeah, it'd be like, if both of us were talkers, it'd be like your parents. Both of us not doctors, it'd be like my parents.
Oh, gosh.
So, but that's what works with us. We found how we fit into the world and with each other and kind of groom that and grease them wheels real good so it's operating smooth.
Don't use the word groom, but yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. But yeah, it all starts with just figuring out who you are and seeing what makes that tick. And it's scary because there was a definite part where we were starting to deconstruct, and I know you had it. I had a little bit too of what's going to happen with us if we start, discovering who we are and it doesn't work with each other.
What if he doesn't like who I really am? When I find out who I am, what if he doesn't like that version?
And honestly, that's some of the problems we have is that you start getting into that mindset. You don't like me. You're going to listen to these other people and how they describe what I am. Someone's going to say I'm non-binary and you're going to think I'm non-binary.
I got to bring that up, okay?
I look like a potato.
No one ever said that. I say that. But the TikTok one was, someone said, don't listen as a non-binary person. And I was like, you're going to read that and then you're going to say that you're going to start looking at me different because you're going to think I'm non-binary or something. And that, I guess, over that shows a judgment I'm holding inside me about non-binary. You know what I'm saying? Why would that be an insult, Candy? Because you think it's an insult and they thought it was an insult and you were in agreement with them on that it's an insult. Or you can say, that's not even an insult. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who cares if Dan sees me that way? He knows who I am. Like, does that matter? So that's another way I could look at it. It's a new perspective I could take on that. So it helps me do some reflection.
But I think, you have anything else to add here?
No, I think that was really good.
I think I spoke too much tonight.
Shut it.
So, I think kind of to conclude everything is just get to know who you are because you have to define who you are. If you want to really operate to your most potential, maximize what you can do while you're here because you only got one shot to do it, you have to figure out who you are so you can fit in the best. Because if you get put into something that's not suited for your tendencies and your person, you're going to not be, it's not going to be good for you. You're going to begin to feel uncomfortable there. Yeah. I mean, so you could get in those places. You don't have to worry about not making the wrong decision because you'll know. Yeah, you'll start to feel it. It doesn't feel right. Had jobs or something that just wasn't our thing. Yeah. But we made it work. Until we could get out of the situation. Yeah. It wasn't the greatest fit for us. We weren't the most efficient at it. We weren't the best at it. It took a lot of extra energy for us to do it. Didn't necessarily like it. Yeah. And that's when you go, okay, this isn't the exact fit for me, but a better fit is out there, right? Yeah. And it starts to get get things shifting for you. So you might start looking. You still keep your job or whatever it is if you need to, and you look. You don't just, it doesn't make you purposely upset things. It makes you don't step until you have a better place to step, right? Yeah. You just find out what works best for you. And when you can do that, life gets so much easier. The times where we can be our authentic selves and plug into something is the most enjoyable, the most valuable, the most worthwhile endeavors we ever do. That's when you feel the most alive. Yeah. Think about, do you feel better when you're delivering or when you're hypnotherapy in? Well, definitely when I'm in hypnotherapy. Because that's where you fit in. When I'm helping anybody through deconstruction, that's where that's my biggest light up. Yeah.
Or mindset, yeah. When that's what happens in hypnotherapy, just their mindset shifting.
Yeah.
Like that's
but you
huge
get a
rewarding
reward
work.
out of that. You feel it. You understand it. It's better for you than dropping groceries off at someone's house with a 5-star rating. Yeah.
I can still find joy in
you can
doing
but
the groceries
it's not
too.
the most joy.
No, it's not. But it's also like while I still need it as I'm building my practice, I can still find the joy in it. Like there's benefits to it. There's and I think that's healthy because then I will continue to bring more things that bring benefit and I will attract the right clients too.
Yeah.
You know.
So anyways, just remember your worth isn't a group project. It's an individual project. You're the one that has to figure it out. You're the one that has to figure out where you fit. And just like we said in previous episodes here, some people aren't going to like it. That's all right. Mm-hmm. Some people are going to love it. That's all right.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you figure out where you fit and where you're going to be the most productive at. Right? Yep. That's all you got there.
That's all I got.
So go to our website, danacan.com. Check that out. It's got everything related to everything we're doing. So podcast and all that, all our socials and everything on there, Candy stuff to get hypnotherapy and blogs and Substacks and all that good stuff. So go check that out. If you're listening on a podcast streaming network, go up and give us 5 stars because that makes us feel worthy. You're defining our worth for us. No, it just helps us out, promotes everything. So do that.
Helps push it along so others will hear and see.
If you got a minute, leave a little comment too. We love hearing it. Mm-hmm. So we'd appreciate that greatly. And if you're on YouTube and watching it there, hit that like, hit that subscribe, smash that subscribe. We appreciate that greatly. Leave comments and all that too there. Love all that. So with that being said, just remember, if someone needs to approve of you to make you feel valuable, they can also unapprove of you. And screw that.
Screw that.
Find your worth, keep your peace, and tell Karen to sit this one out.
AI wrote that, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, I'm not a writer.
Bye.
Bye.